Hello, everyone. It's Stephanie with Maureen Bradley Designs, and today I'm sharing with you some inspiration on poolside mosaics. For the month of June, I created a little bit of an inspiration tile effect from from Maureen Bradley Designs uh, Facebook page. We have a group, and I shared with a bunch of images. And I picked this one, which shows the tiles from a pool. And I really liked the image on Facebook. Is a lot more turquoise and not quite as bright blue. But I love the iridescence of the tiles and especially the pink. So you can see in my design where I've created this effect in my design. And started a whole collection on this. So I have a necklace that I've started, an earring, and a bracelet. So I also haven't made a memory wire bracelet in some time. So I really enjoyed doing this memory wire bracelet where I'm adding the beads and the fish. Okay, so let me move this out of the way and we can get started on the project here. I'm going to show you how I created this earring right here. So some tools and supplies that I have here are some size 6 seed beads. I have the green, purple, and gold. They all have an AB iridescent to them, which reminded me of that picture with the tiles that have iridescence in them. It'll be easier for me to put them back. And then the green. And then I have some turquoise and pink square beads that I had in my stash. And let's see what else. I'm using 2x2 crimp beads here. These 3-hole brackets that keep the beads in place and you can string through. Some silver fish. I'm using a large ball head pin. I just simply did a simple loop here with the fish. And then I'm using the smaller ball head pins in silver. I'm also using some soft flex wire in white quartz color in medium. And then the tools I'm using today are round nose pliers, chain nose pliers, bent chain nose pliers as well, cutters, and the magical ball crimping pliers. I have a ball there. So to start, I'm going to start with 2 pieces of about 4 inches of this white quartz soft flex wire. Cutting that off. And I have some scraps of the white quartz wire because when we use just a single piece of wire, the crimps don't work. They don't clamp down to the wire. So you need to add another little piece under the crimp so that it will stick. So I'm going to go ahead and show you that. Just use this small piece here. So I'm adding my crimp over the 2 pieces of wire. And I'm adding my crimp inside the ball part, and I'm clamping down, and that creates a little 4-pointed pillow, so to speak, if you can see that. And then I'm just going to clamp down all the way around. to where it creates a ball. And then I'm clipping away, holding it down so that it doesn't fly off, the little pieces of white wire that's stuck up out of the ball crimp. And then we're going to start on the side. So I'm going to put a green bead, size 6 bead here. And then I'm adding the side into the holes there. And then I'm just going to clip that extra wire away because we're not going to need it. Making sure I don't clip away that wire I do need onto that. And then we're just going to add the beads we need. So I need a pink and a purple, a turquoise, a gold, and a pink there. And then I'm adding the end bracket. And we started with a green bead, so I'm going to end with a green bead. And I'm going to add that crimp bead onto the end so that my beads stay in place there. And again, we're going to need an extra piece there. I suppose you could go ahead and hold on to that. It could go through the whole thing. As long as your beads aren't too, the holes aren't too narrow and it fits, it should be fine. So I'm just making sure that my beads are in place before I start crimping. And I'm just going to clamp down on it, get it into the little hole there. And making sure everything's snug in place, I'm creating that pillow. And I'm just turning it and clamping down to create that ball. So there's that side, and I'm going to clip away the extra wire. We want to keep the long piece, but not the short one. So there's that side, and then I'm going to take this side and do the same thing. Creating a little ball. All the way around. There we go. And I'm going to add, for the end, I had a purple. Put a purple on both sides. And like I said, if both wires will fit through, could just go ahead and add both of them, which I think they do. And then for the end, we have a pink, gold. My voice is still not quite right, but I felt like it was the best for today. It's fine. You can understand me, so that's fine, but I still feel like I have like a bit of laryngitis from being sick. So I'm adding the pink onto the end, and then this will keep everything in place. Here, there we go. So I've got two sides. And then on the end, we started with purple, so we end with a purple. So that works. And then I'm just going to add the last crimp here. And then make the ball crimp. So I'm just sliding it up just a little bit, and then I'm clamping down so that I can go around. I think I like the double strand of soft flex wire there. All right. So now I'm just going to clip away the shorter one because we don't need it. All right. So there's my start of my earring. And then we need to do the middle piece with the dangle so that we have that. So for that, I'm using, this is about a 4-inch piece of silver German style wire. And I'm just going to create a loop on one end. So I'm holding it flush with my round nose pliers, and I'm turning my pliers down so that my wire meets the opposite side to form a loop. And then I'm cracking it back to create an eye pin. And I'm just straightening it out a little bit. And then I'm going to open that loop and slide on my fish. Yeah. So that part is already created. I'm straightening my wire out. And I'm going to put the cut side to the back of my, I always try to pay attention to where my cuts are, because I always want those to face the back. And so the middle one has a gold bead. I'm going to put that in. And then we need to add our middle bead. So we have a turquoise, and I believe we have purple. And then we have pink, green, and another blue square bead. And then I'm just going to gently bring that down and then feed that wire through the middle of the bracket. If I can get it, there it goes. And pull up. And then that keeps everything in line. Look at that. So now I just need to add, and I think I added a gold bead, yes. And then I did my loop. So that kind of keeps everything in place. I'm going to bend that wire towards me, taking my round nose pliers. I'm going to make that loop go to the back. Just a simple loop. Clipping that wire away. I'm holding it in my fingers, right? And then, whoops, I pushed it up on it. Let's see. Get that back up in there. I'm going to roll that wire down. And it's to the front of me right now, but I'm going to turn it around so that it's facing the back. So I'm closing it, and then I'm turning it to the back. And then I want to make sure that my loops are opposite each other. Like so. Let's see if I did it right. Check them. I can hold that with my bent nose pliers right there. And actually, this one should be facing back like that, because this one's going to have my earring wire on it. Yes, all right. So I've managed to get that taken care of. All right. So that is what our earring looks like so far. So now I'm going to do a wrap loop on this bead. I've already fed my white and pink bead. So I've got my pliers right next to the bead. I'm pushing down forward, rotating my round nose pliers up, and I'm going to press that wire up and over and around. I'm going to rotate them up, bringing that wire around to form a loop. And then I grab my chain nose pliers, and I'm simply going to wrap that wire around the wire from the loop. It's going to be about 3 wraps. And I'm going to hold that wire while I trim away the excess. And then I'm just tucking in that little end so it doesn't stick out, and I'm straightening my loop here. And that's my dangle there. So now we're going to make this loop portion here. So one side we're going to put one crimp on, and then this side we're putting the other crimp on, and then we're going to add a gold bead. Sorry about that. The dog started barking, knocking at the door. All right, so here we are. I'm adding this gold bead. I'm adding a pink bead. I'm going to add a purple bead. Turquoise. Green. And I'm just feeding them onto the one side. And then the pink. And then a gold. All right. So actually, since this is the opposite side, I want to flip the green and the gold. I'm sorry, the green and the purple. So let me add the green first. Always have to think about that when you're making earrings. And then we will add the blue and the purple, pink, and the gold. There we go. So that way, excuse me, if they're opposite each other, the green, purple, and gold, I always try to pay attention to that when I'm making earrings so that not everything goes the same way. Sometimes you can't help it because if you have like metal that's only one-sided, it's only going to face one way, if that makes sense. So that's what I've done here is I fed it opposite of my other earring so that when they hang on each ear, you'll see identical. So if that makes sense. So my voice is starting to go. So here we are. We're almost done. I'm going to take this side of the wire and feed it through these beads here on this side so that we have a double wire going under the beads. All right, here we go. Here we go. So it should just go directly under those beads and you can just feed them on like that. And then I want to make sure that this other side, that it goes through that opposite crimp so that you have a little piece of wire sticking up on each side. I'll get my hand out of the way here as I get the beads down and I'll show you. There we go. So I'm just adding them down. There we go. They're going one by one. Okay. All right. So now we've got the top part of our earring. And then I'm going to put those crimps through the wires. There we go. So I should have double. You should see an end coming out each side. There we go. Just going to pull on it just a little bit so you can see those wires sticking out. And then here's where to make them similar. Let's see, I'm going to measure here. It's about an inch from the middle bead to the end, to this end here. So I'm just going to try to pull it even so that they're sitting in the middle. And don't worry if you pull a little too much. You can always adjust it. Yeah. That's about an inch, but then the other thing you can do is lay the earring on top of that one to make sure you're kind of in the middle there. There we go. And I'm just going to pull this down so I can see a little better because I've got the camera up above. Yeah, you can just lay it on top. And I'm going to pull just a little bit more. And I think that gets it. So that makes us about even. The loop there. All right. So what's left is to crimp the two sides. So that's what I'm going to do. Hold on to that. Get that little crimp inside that ball crimp. Clamp down. And then I'm just going to work my way around making that ball. All right, and then we're going to do the other side, making sure everything's kind of together. It doesn't have to be real snug. You want your beads to move a little bit. So we could pull that just a little bit away so that they move just a little bit. Okay. Yeah, I want them to move freely. Okay. So hold on to that. This side, and then I'm just going to crimp down like so. And again, I'm making that little ball crimp. And that is it. So let me trim this extra wire away. So always save your scraps for projects like these where you're just using a single, piece of wire and you want to, make designs with it. That way, yeah, awesome. Okay, so let me open my earring wire. There. Sometimes I make my loops big enough, sometimes I don't, but so I'll have to just fit it through my wire like this. And then we'll just close it up like so. I'm just putting the earring wire on it. And that is my tutorial for the month of June's Inspiration Challenge. I made these super cute style earrings. It's Poolside Mosaics is what I called it. And it's just basically the beautiful mosaic tiles that you see on pools. Fancy pools. I saw a lot of fountains with koi fish, and that's why I added the fish to represent like these beautiful pools that sometimes have fountains in them, but they just have beautiful mosaics done and so artfully done. Again, this is Maureen Bradley Designs Facebook page, and I have a group there, and I've been sharing pictures and images on a monthly challenge. Today I posted a new challenge. I am hoping that people will make a selection. I gave several options. I hope that you'll join me and help me pick what the inspiration challenge will be for the month of June. So that's the Maureen Facebook page. Go to the group. If you haven't joined, please join us. It's so much fun. And every day I post some inspiration, positivity, artwork, and hopefully you'll enjoy being a part of the group too. Thank you so much for joining me today. I hope you have a fabulous rest of your week. Thank you.